Hello Taurus, hello my bull gang. I'm back. How you doing? I hope you're well. And thanks for clicking here. Your girl needed a break, so I just took a damn break. I wish we could all just take a damn break, right? Universe said, look, sit down. It was that last full moon that did me in, I think. And all this stuff going on in Aries and Uranus on my ass in Taurus, that's just exhausted me. How are you doing? Tell me how things are going for you, friends. And I am here to give you a weekly read. It's usually for the week ahead, but hey, time is not linear. It is fluid. So could be this week, could be next week. Let's find out what's going on, Taurus. I thought I'd pull out the Places deck. We haven't used it in a while, and then we'll hit it up with some tarot. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to find a private read. I'm also going to tell you all about extendeds and how to find those. So let's get on with it. Thanks for coming back. If you always come back, hey, can you check and make sure that you're still subscribed? Because I've been noticing that some of the channels that I have subscribed to, I was unsubscribed from. So check into it, Taurus. Make sure that you are subscribed. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed up to here. Let's find out what's going on with you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What do we got here? We got the post office, Taurus. We've got the post office, we've got the swimming pool, and we've got the shopping mall. Well, this is interesting. So the post office says mail delivery, written correspondence, or a package tracking. It feels like somebody here has some information showing up. It could be from a person, but if you've planned a vacation, which this kind of looks like, it could be that. To me, this says an Amazon delivery is about to show up, or a package of some sort is about to show up. Something you've shopped for, or somebody has shopped for something for you. I'm going to say that maybe you're not expecting that you'll get notification from the post office saying, hey, something's waiting for you. That's what it feels like. You might not understand what it is. We have sunbathing and tanning. It says pool games and fun pool parties. This here is telling me that maybe somebody is planning to travel, or you've been thinking about making plans to travel, and you might be just receiving some information about that in the mail. It could be tickets, it could be brochures. Maybe you're looking at places that you want to go and you're looking to receive some information about that. Ultimately, I think that what's going on here is, Taurus, I feel like you need to rest. It feels like somebody here needs to rest. Get out somewhere. I don't care where it is. Maybe for you, it's out in the park close to where you live. Maybe for you, it's out to a cabin somewhere. Maybe for you, you get on a plane and you go somewhere by yourself. You take just a single person trip somewhere out into the country or another country. It feels like you should expect some sort of correspondence. It could be from a person. It could be from this, right? It could be that you shopped for something and something's arriving. But we'll leave this over here. And if any more information comes up about that, we will talk about that a little further. We've got the farm. Yeah, it says agriculture work and livestock rearing. It says here that I feel like somebody here really needs to get away to the country. That's what it feels like. Get out of the country, get away into the country. Someplace where, you relax by the pool, the water, the sounds of water. Maybe you need to be in in a countryside. I'm picturing in my mind's eye Montana is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been through is Montana. And I'm watching a show on Prime right now that is got all this beautiful landscape views of Montana. So I feel like somebody here is supposed to relax by the water, but it is time to relax. And, maybe somebody it's time for you to get out amongst people. The shopping mall is here. You don't have to be shopping and buying things to be out amongst people. If you're a person who doesn't have people, maybe you just need to get out amongst people. But it looks like something is going to be showing up for you. And it's telling you here, please get out and do something. Get out into the country where you can smell the grass, smell the hay, all of that stuff. Let's find out what's going on. Let's do a 9-card draw, Taurus. Let's find out what's going on here. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, my friends, my bull gang. We are almost into Taurus season, aren't we? We sure are. Let's find out what's going on. Hey, happy Easter. I know I didn't put up all of the Easter stuff I usually do, but I've already got some stuff in boxes. Yes, it might be time to move. Let's find out what's going on here, Taurus. We've got the Temperance card. We've got the Knight of Wands. And we've got the Three of Wands. Look, something is about to change in the future, and I feel like you have got to be brave. You've got to be brave because I think something that you've asked for is what the ships coming in are. So it feels like those of you who are planning to travel, this could be your adventure card. Be brave, do it by yourself. I'm going to say don't take a whole pile of people with you. Just get on a damn plane and go. Or get in your car and go rent a cabin somewhere where you can stay by yourself. It feels like somebody here needs to heal, needs to bring things back into balance. I'm going to say that in a moment of alchemy, and it might not be right now, and you're probably like, well, I just don't have the money to travel. I don't have the money to do whatever it is that I'm going to do. I feel like you will, but I feel like also that you might have to make a brave move of some sort in order to get more balance in your life, because we've got 4 wands here. And the Knight of Wands is here saying, look, you've got to practice bravery. Bravery, like the Knight of Wands looking straight at Temperance tells me you need to be brave to heal. So you need to do something brave or out of the ordinary in order to heal. I don't know of any place that I can be healed more than in the grass, in a park, in the country. Of course, I'm an earth sign, so that might not be for you. Tell me more about Taurus. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Swords and the King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like somebody here is like, well, what if I make the wrong decision? What if I'm brave? What if I make the bold move and then I make the wrong decision? I feel like you're too smart to make the wrong decision. I'm just going to say it feels like somebody here is maybe overthinking the future or overthinking the bravery. And I think it's because you still have an old scar from somewhere else back there, Taurus. It feels like somebody here doesn't really notice that they've grown, or doesn't really notice that they've become stable, or that you're in a much better place now than you used to be. I feel like you've had this time of healing your finances, healing your stability, healing your health. It feels like if you haven't done that yet, that's what's about to come up for you. It feels like you're still dealing in disappointment, heartbreak. It feels like frustration maybe for some of you, and I feel like you're trying to heal that because there's Libra and Capricorn here. I feel like you're almost like, it's like you're trying to put everything in a box, in a nice, neat space. You're trying to make a spreadsheet of how to heal. But healing isn't linear. It's the cha-cha, man. You're gonna feel great some days, and some other days you're not gonna want to pull the blankets off your head. And that's the way it goes. I feel like you will come up with a clear solution. I feel like you will, but not until you terrorize yourself a little bit with the thought pattern, because I think that you are overthinking something. Aquarius, right? Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, they're all overthinkers, all of them. They eventually will come up with the right answer, but not before they terrorize themselves with the thought pattern. So I feel like somebody here is healing the self. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. Be brave, heal the self, go on an adventure of some sort. It's time for life to expand for you. You've got to go beyond the box that you've put yourself in. It might be a financial box. Maybe you're working too long. You feel like you're working so much, I'm not making anything. Somebody here is maybe feeling upset or disappointed with someone, something. Yeah, I think that's why you're being careful. I do see the Queen of Pentacles as being careful. That's Capricorn energy. That's CEO energy, CEO of the astrological world. This person doesn't do anything unless it's all planned, right? So it feels like somebody here is worried that I'm going to get hurt again if I try and be brave. Tell me more. All right. Yeah, somebody here. It feels like the Six of Swords tells me someone is stuck. You feel like you're either stuck financially, stuck with your health. Time, effort, energy, money. You want to have more time, effort, energy, and money to do all these things, but I feel like you're feeling frustrated and stuck. Feels like that. Well, you're going to have to make a choice. And I feel like the choice is telling me, now there's 2 swords here and there's 3 here. That's 5 and 1 is 6. You're going to have to eventually move on. I feel like the 6 of Swords being in the reverse here tells me that the reason you are not moving ahead, the reason that you're stuck, is because you haven't yet come to clarity about the overthinking. It feels like you don't have enough details. You don't have enough facts. You want, like everyone else who comes to me for a private reading, they want to know if it's going to happen at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday in the month of October when the moon is full. Like most people want to know when it's going to happen, and that's not what tarot's about. Tarot's about telling you how to get through the process or through the journey of getting to where you want to be. I feel like you need to make a choice. And because this Lovers here is coming up under the 3 of Swords, I feel like getting out of your head or stop feeling hurt, like somebody hurt you, that you've been hurt financially or you've been wounded. I feel like that's a choice. And no, that doesn't mean that the wounding goes away. It doesn't mean that the hurt goes away. It means that you choose not to put all of your time, effort, and energy into that anymore. So I feel like somebody here needs to make a choice. And the choice is to realize, have an epiphany, some great clarity about what it is that you're going to do from here. The King of Swords is somebody who is very honest and truthful with people around them and themselves. I feel like it's time for you to cut away some things that you don't need, because I feel like right now you are stuck. Somebody here definitely feels very frustrated about their financial situation or about their health, or feeling like I can't go out with friends. This is a complaint I hear a lot, right? Well, once I go out and I do all my work for the day, then I come home and I just want to eat and fall into bed. Well, welcome to life. That's what we're all doing. But I feel like somebody here feels like they're stuck in their financial situation and they're worried or frustrated. Even after going over all the details, I don't feel like I have enough. I feel like you have to choose to have enough. Do you know what I mean? And no, I'm not saying that it's going to drop out of the sky onto your head. I'm saying that there's different choices that need to be made here. That you get to choose the way you look at your situation. And if you choose to look at your situation in a way of you can't come to an answer, a clear answer, if you're waiting for the clear answer, you're just never going to move forward. I feel like the Three of Wands is telling me expand, go forward. Open yourself up to new things. Take a chance, right? We've got somebody here who's being brave, and we've got Sagittarius and Aries energy. We're in Aries season. It feels like somebody here needs to get out of the weeds. I'm going to say the weeds. This is what this feels like here. The weeds feels like you're looking over the details so much that you're just frozen. You're not going anywhere. You're not making any choices because nothing is clear. And sometimes we just have to jump, right? I do feel like somebody here does need to stop with the overthinking. I think that's what's exhausting you. It might be physical exhaustion, but it feels like it's mostly mental exhaustion. That's why I think that some sort of information is coming to you, some sort of mail delivery or written correspondence that is going to either alleviate some of this or is going to say, hey, maybe it's time for you to get out and do something in the country, get away from whatever it is. Maybe somebody needs to spend more time, if you are a religious person, spend more time in prayer, spend more time in your church community. I'm going to put down 2 cards. We're going to see what's coming up here in the future, or under the surface here. So I feel like what you don't see here is that you are a person who usually speaks out, stands up, liberates themselves, says what they're going to say, and put up the boundaries. I feel like you've been silent about something, and it feels like it's because you're in your head frustrated about something that happened, financial-wise, healing-wise, maybe about your health, could be about somebody who you're romantically connected to. There's something here that's causing a block, causing a block on you. Like, I don't think anybody's blocked you. I feel like this is a mental block. That's what it feels like, a mental block. This needs to be healed, but sometimes in order to get the healing on its way, sometimes we need to be brave and do something we've never done before. And I think for you, it's going to be to get the hell out and get amongst people. That's what it feels like. I think somebody's spending too much time alone at home. Let's talk about the Knight of Wands. Tell me why the Knight of Wands is here. We've got the Four of Swords. We've got the King of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So somebody's here saying, I can't afford it, Elsie. I can't afford to do it. I don't have enough money. Or maybe you feel like you're on the outside looking in and I just don't want to go do those things by myself, right? Sometimes if you've spent a lot of time by yourself, I don't want to go traveling by myself. I don't want to be doing those things by myself. I would say that's all a choice. And if that's your choice, cool. Do it. Do whatever your choice is. But I think somebody here is trying to heal their financial situation, heal their stability. And I feel like you're going to have to do something out of the ordinary in order to make that so. If you do the same thing you always did, Taurus, you're always going to get what you always got, which means you're going to have to change your mind. The King of Swords isn't so great at changing their mind, but the Queen of Swords is a little bit more liberal when it comes to the way they think. And I'm not talking about politics to get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about being flexible of the mind. Being flexible in your mind, because if you keep always thinking the way you did, making the same rules, following the same mental rules that you always did, then stop complaining that you're stuck. because it is a choice. Being stuck is a choice. Tell me why the Queen of Pentacles is here. We have the 8 of Pentacles, we have the 8 of Swords, and we have the 5 of Swords. There it is. You're arguing with yourself. It feels like what's keeping you stuck is that you've placed yourself in a prison of the mind. And it does look like you are thinking about whatever hurt you or frustration, like I said. And the 5 and the 3 are 8, right? So we're getting the 8 of Swords no matter which way we look at it. I feel like somebody here is splitting hairs. It feels like somebody here is rule-bound or has made a rule in their mind that they can't do anything until they meet some sort of a threshold, a financial threshold, a healing threshold, something about your health threshold. It feels like somebody is not acknowledging that I'm already in my pre-Empress energy, and this time last year, I totally was not. So I'm going to say, first of all, second, and third of all, start looking at what you've already accomplished rather than what you need to have in the future, because that's all FOMO. That's like that stuff hasn't even happened yet. Until you figure out what's going on in the current moment, you're never going to figure out what's going on in the future. So I'm going to say that I feel like you're fighting yourself in the mind. It feels like you're going through some sort of an energy where you've made these rules in your mind, and you feel like if you cross a line across from these rules you've made in your mind. I'm talking to someone who's very harshly rule-bound that will not change their mind. I feel like you are somebody who spends a lot of time alone because you must control your thoughts and everyone around you. I feel like you're in a mental prison, essentially, is what it is. And the 8 of Pentacles being here is really interesting because that also is being rule-bound. That's a perfection problem. So somebody here is unable to be flexible in the mind and is very rule-bound. And until you get out of being rule-bound, you're not going to be able to make a choice. You're not going to feel like you have any choices. But look, on the bottom of the deck, that's the bottom of the deck is always the future energy for me. It looks like if you don't make the decision, the universe makes the decision for you, Taurus. So I feel like there's a tower coming. There's a hard shift coming here, and it's without your sign off. The universe isn't asking for permission in order to shift things for you. It feels like something here must be shifted in order for it to work out. Look, it is going to shift for the better. And I will tell you this 100% of the time, look, being at almost level 58 of this game, right? That every single time the tower has shifted for me, as I look back at when the tower fell, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I wasn't flexible enough to make that decision. So in order to force celebration, in order to force togetherness, in order to force me to be happier than I was, the tower must be forced. It feels like you leave the universe no other option but to force you into doing it, to show you how good it can really be. It feels like there is, you're in silence with boundaries. Mental boundaries, verbal boundaries. It almost feels like somebody here is really stuck in the mind and will not, or is having a hard time making a choice to change their mind about something. That is this mail delivery or this written correspondence or a package or whatever it is that's coming to you. It could be in form of a text or an email, or it could be something coming in the mail, in the post. It feels like this thing is what's going to help you change your mind. Look, we're going to talk about more of this in the extended. And if you want to come into the extended, please look at the top of the comments. There is one pinned comment there. If you click on read more in that pinned comment, you will see a link. A couple of links will pop out. One is for the membership area. If you want to come there and see the extendeds, then come on by, and you will get 4 extendeds in a month for every one sign you watch for. If you are interested in a private reading, I do private readings that are pre-recorded. I also do them live. So please take a look at my schedule to see what is going to work for you, what sort of scheduling will work for you, and book accordingly. You will get between 5 and 75% off the live connections, whether that's in text or face-to-face or over the phone. And if you are interested in a pre-recorded reading, they begin at $25 and go up from there. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for coming here and watching, Taurus. I missed you, man. And I will see you in the extended. And then I will be back because I'm always back. Take care, Taurus. Bye-bye.